Hi everyone, I'm Kalyani Tulankar, and in this fifth session for Law for All, I'll be discussing with you the basic concepts, basic framework of copyright laws in India. Copyright is a form of intellectual property rights. Intellectual property rights are rights that are defined as rights that persons have in the creations of their own minds. What does that mean? That these are the rights that people have in the works that are created from their thoughts, from their ideas, from their imagination. Uh, in some ways, intellectual property is similar to physical property. Intellectual property can be transferred, intellectual property can be monetized. So, if you have a right in a certain work, you can monetize it, you can transfer it, either you can create an assignment or you can give a license to another person. But in some ways, it is different. And the most important distinguishing factor is the nature of the property. While physical property is tangible in nature, intellectual property is intangible in nature, or it cannot be determined by the physical space. To put it simply, if you buy a book, in order to understand the distinction, we will take this example. If you buy a book, what you get is a physical copy of the book, but you do not get the intellectual property rights that are in the book. Those rights subsist even after you buy the book. So those rights don't get transferred to you. The right of the author, the publisher remain despite the fact that you have bought the book and the physical property is yours. One of the important thing to remember about copyright is that copyright evolved as an response really to the printing press. With the advent of printing press, it became quite easy to print things, which meant that what couldn't be done earlier, making reproduction or copies of works on a mass scale, could now be done. And this created a lot of issues for publishers, for authors, whose works couldn't be protected. And which is when, in 1710, the first statute regarding copyright was enacted in England. It is called the Statute of Anne. Since 1710, the manner in which we store information, the manner in which we copy information, the manner in which we communicate that information with the public in general and each other has changed quite a bit. We have technological advances have been massive. It means that from the printing press, we have gone to phonograms, radios, cassettes, CDs, DVDs, instant messaging and streaming services now. So copyright law has had to meet the challenges of technological advancements. Over the years, one of the first conventions, international conventions on copyright, was the Berne Convention that related to artistic and literary works. Over the years, though, as can be seen with the internet treaties in the 1990s, over the years, the copyright law has evolved to meet the needs of the technological advancement, and there is still, with the new advances coming up, with the new future works coming up, it is important that the law molds itself to meet the needs of the future. Let us understand what is the nature of copyright. One thing to remember about copyright is that copyright protection is not available to ideas. Copyright protection is available to the expression of the ideas in a tangible form. What does that mean? It means that a thought, an idea in your mind is not protected. What is protected is only when it is expressed in a tangible form. So if you write down a poem, it is protected by copyright. And when does this protection kick in? The protection is available the moment the work is created. So registration of copyright is not mandatory, although registration of copyright is advisable, because in case of a dispute in the future, the registration of the copyright is a prima facie evidence as to the ownership of the copyright. Two other things that are not necessary are publication and the quality of work. You need not be worried about what is the quality of the work. You need not have the work published for it to have copyright. Mere creation of the work is enough for it to be protected under the copyright law. A copyright is referred to as a bundle of a right, or a cluster of rights. Why is that? That is because a copyright is not a single isolated right to make copies or to make reproductions of the work. What the copyright owner also gets is a right to share the work to the public, a right to adapt it into some other form or to translate it into any other language, a right to make it into a sound recording or a cinematograph film for that matter. Copyright is also a negative right. It's also called a negative right because what it allows you is to not only do certain things with respect to the work that you have created, but also stop others from doing those things. So, in the event that without your permission, so in the event that your work is being utilized by another person, it amounts to infringement if that utilization is without your permission. You have remedies. You have civil as well as criminal remedies under the act. In case of infringement, civil remedies could include injunction, damages, accounts, etc. And in case it's also an offense, infringement is also an offense punishable with punishment and fine. Copyright law protects works broadly falling into 6 categories of works. These are literary, artistic, dramatic, musical, sound recording, and cinematograph film. What are all the works that fall within this category? Literary work is any kind of written text, so poems, short stories, novels, non-fictional books, all of those. In terms of musical work refers to compositions, tunes, jingles. Sound recording, dramatic work is self-explanatory. Artistic work is paintings, sculptures. Some other examples could be engravings, sketches, and such like. Cinematograph films are movies or advertisements or short films, etc. It's also very important to know who is the owner of the work. The Copyright Act makes a distinction between the author of the work and the first owner. As per Section 17 of the Act, the author of the work is the first owner of the work, except in certain circumstances. But who is the author of the work? In case of dramatic and literary work, this is the definition which is given by the Act itself. Section 2, subsection D defines the word author. In case of literary and dramatic work, it is the person who has written it, so the author himself. In case of a musical recording, it is the composer. In case of a photograph, it is the photographer. And in case of other artistic work, it is the artist who has made the work who is the author of the work. In case of cinematograph film, it is the producer. So also for sound recording, it is the producer who is considered the author of the work. What are the circumstances in which the author is not the owner? Broadly, there are 3 circumstances. When it is a work which is done in the course of employment by an employee, then the employer is the owner of the work. If it is a work for hire, then again the employer is the owner of the work. In case of commissioned works, it is the person who has commissioned the work and not the person who has created the work who is the owner of the work. What is the time duration for which copyright subsists? In case of artistic, literary, musical or dramatic work, the copyright subsists for a period of 60 years in addition to the lifetime of the author. But in case of sound recordings or cinematograph films, the period is 60 years from the date of publication. What happens to the copyright once the period is over, once the 60 years plus lifetime of the author or 60 years from the date of publication is over? In which case the work falls into public domain and the author or the owner of the copyright has no further economic rights in that property. A right in a copyright in a work can be transferred by way of an assignment. Either all the rights can be transferred or a limited amount of rights can be transferred. It could be for the entire term or it could be for the set duration of the term. Even after the transfer of the rights, the author has certain rights in the property. And what are these rights? These are not economic rights. These are called as moral rights. The author has two moral rights in the property. They are right of attribution and right of integrity. What is this? Right of attribution means that the author has a right to claim authorship of the work, even if the right, his copyright in the work is transferred to another person, or if he does not have a copyright by virtue of section 17 of the act, as we saw. And secondly, a right of integrity. He has a right that the work that he has created is not distorted in a manner which is prejudicial to his reputation. If in such a case, an author can file for an injunction to the court. There are two exceptions which are laid down in the act where a person can use copyrighted work without the permission of the owner of the copyrighted work. What are these two exceptions? One is under a compulsory license. So there are certain circumstances in the act itself which lay down situations when a compulsory license can be granted. This is not a voluntary license, the owner does not grant it, but the compulsory license is granted by the appellate board, or in case of statutory licensing, by the payment of certain amount which is fixed. This compulsory licensing is circumstances such as when the work is withheld from the public, or where the version of a work is not available in a manner which is friendly for a visually impaired persons or print disabled persons. Another exception is the fair use exception. Fair use means that a person can use the work, a copyrighted work, without it being an infringement in certain circumstances. These circumstances are also laid down in the act. One of the circumstances is, to give you an example of these circumstances, would be for personal use or for research or work that is used in the course of reporting of current affairs, or for criticism, review, or when the work is being used by a teacher in the course of teaching instructions, and so on. What we have discussed today in the video is the basic concept of copyright law. I hope that you find this useful.